Today we shall meditate on Philippians 2:13, which tells us that God is at work in each one of us. And so we begin. We begin by composing ourselves, sitting in a comfortable position, allowing ourselves to just enjoy taking the breath in and relaxing as we allow the breath to move away from us. We breathe in and we breathe out. That's all. We relax all the tension of our body and the mind and our emotions. All we want is to be in absolute peace. And so, begin by telling yourself, I now move away from all my doings, just no doing. All my doings in time and space. And I search for a resting place. I look for an abiding moment, a moment away from all the noises and distractions and the incessant chatter in my mind. And I sink below the surface, and I leave all the noises and distractions above the surface. I sink deeper into my soul, deeper and ever deeper. I sink myself into layers and layers of peace, layer after layer of silence, layer after layer of eternity. And finally, like a floating feather that floats in the wind, I find myself coming to rest on the core of my being. That core of my being, which is forever in an absolute state of rest, an absolute state of repose. Here, in the core of my being, I find only stillness, no movement, no motion. I find spaciousness and abundance, no scarcity at all. Here I find that I have absolutely no needs and no wants, nothing to gain. I have it all and nothing to lose, since here nothing can be taken away from me. At this moment, I exist, merged and dissolved into the whole of existence. Nothing is outside of this existence. Nothing is outside of this beingness. And because of that, I begin to sense myself as being all things. I sense myself as if all things are in me. I share in the beingness of all things, the whole of everything, the whole of all the universes abide with me, and I in it. That which lives there in the deepest level of my being, that which vibrates there, is the same that lives in every being. It's not different. We share in the life, we share in the being. That which I find my perfect repose is the same in which all beings find their repose. The same life is the same in everything. The same life shows itself up in multiform, shows itself up, popping up in a variety, unceasing creation of form after form after form in time and space. Only one thing is at work in the whole of creation. Only one thing creates all things. Only one thing rests in and sustains all things. And that one thing is God, the source, the universal mind. I embrace this source. Now, in this moment where I encounter that which is in all things, I surrender my little self and all I thought I was. I surrender my ego and I embrace my true self. I embrace God. I embrace my fullness and I embrace my all. I detach myself from all that I thought I needed to have and do. With great gratitude and joy, I hand over my whole being, my life, and all my works to this being, to this source, to this God, to this Abba, Father. I now experience freedom from the shackles I had placed upon myself. For here in the depths of my being, I recognize that it is He who wills in me. It is He who thinks in me. And it is He who acts through me. All I need is to be just a conduit of all that He wills to happen through me. I just have to free myself from my bondage to my ego. I must just learn to leave that behind and embrace the truth and embrace that which is all of being and embrace my happiness. I must learn that I am not an isolated self, but I'm perpetually connected to that being. I'm not a self that excludes anything, but I'm a self that includes everything. And so when I embrace everything and everybody, actually I'm embracing myself. And when I embrace myself, I'm embracing everything. I embrace myself in everything, in every situation, in every circumstance, and in every event. I open myself, therefore, to that which is the power that brings all things into creation, that brings all things into form, a power that unceasingly energizes all things and then takes them back into itself. Right now, as I breathe in and breathe out, I sense this power. Right now, this power is flowing through me, keeping me in being, sustaining me, working through me, and molding me moment after moment. I begin to realize that I am an instrument that is handled by infinite power for its own purpose and its own joy. And when I give in to it, I share in its purposes and its joy. I rest in this power, and I refrain from imposing my opinions, my thoughts, and my will upon any aspect of creation. Humbly, I free everything to be what it is and to become whatever God's love has in store for it. My life now becomes a delightful discovering of the movements of God in creation and in the lives of all being, all people, every aspect of humanity. Simply by becoming one with the will of my Creator, I become powerful. I allow His creation to flow through me. I wish for nothing but His purpose, because only His purpose will forever be fulfilled. And every day of my bodily existence, I will seek only the support of this source of creation, of this great self, of this universal mind that I abide in, the core of my being. I will be attentive to the loud clamor of my ego as it keeps on shouting out all its needs and desires and longings, and I will shun them. I have no value for personal glory, no ambition of any kind, and nothing to profit by, since I have and I am all things. I do not thirst any more, for my thirst has been quenched by the love of God. I do everything, all my tasks for Him, for I know He is that which is done. He is the doer, and He alone is the witness to all things. I need nothing. I ask for nothing, and I rest in nothing. Peace, peace.